The other day I was on one of my afternoon walks with my dog Blue, and we were coming up upon an elementary school just a few blocks from the parish here as school was getting out. And about 10 or 15 yards in front of Blue and me walked this father and his little son, maybe third grade-ish. And I heard the father ask the son what parents ask their kids after a day of school. How was your day? And the child's nonverbals were clear that it wasn't a good day. His head dropped. I couldn't hear the gist of the entire conversation, but I did hear the dad say, "I'm sorry to hear that you had a rough day." Those were the only words of the father as he walked ahead of us for a few blocks till they got to their house. But what the father did was beautiful. He simply put his arm around his son and pulled him in close and walked with him home, just wanting to show the son there was a love willing to stand in his corner with him. Like many psalms, Psalm 69 is a psalm that's prayed from the standpoint of a life that feels as though it's backed into a corner. There's all sorts of struggle and difficulty and a sense of being trapped. What's interesting, though, as the psalm progresses is that in verse 20, the psalmist doesn't pray necessarily for God to come in and pull the psalmist out of the corner the psalmist is backed into, but rather the psalmist simply prays that the psalmist might experience God's presence, God's nearness, a love that's willing to step into and stand in that corner with the psalmist. Lent is a season that reminds us that from time to time, life will back us into a corner. One of the many gifts of Lent is that it also reveals that there is a holy and divine love willing to step into that corner with us and hold the space. And today we're given a holy invitation to pause and pray about how we have experienced that gift of an arm or a love that has wrapped itself around us and held us after a rough day at school, a rough day at work, or a rough season in life. And it's that kind of love that eventually gives us the strength to peer around the corner that we were once trapped in and eventually step into the life that awaits. Lenten peace and blessings to you all.